Ed Sullivan never stopped his show, not for technical failures, not for forgotten lines, not for anything. For 16 years, he kept perfect control, introducing the Beatles with the same steady voice he used for everyone else. But on March 17, 1963, during a live broadcast to 73 million viewers, a production assistant handed Ed an envelope he wasn't supposed to open. Inside was a letter from a mother in Connecticut, 200 words about her 9-year-old daughter, Linda. Ed read it during a commercial break. 30 seconds later, he walked to center stage, a position he almost never took, and did something that would break every rule of live television. What happened next wasn't about fame or ratings or keeping the show moving. It was about whether a man built on professional distance could choose to let his heart shatter in front of the entire country. March 17, 1963. A Sunday evening like thousands before it. Across America, families gather in living rooms still warm from dinner. Mothers settle into armchairs. Fathers loosen their ties. Children sprawl on carpet, close enough to feel the heat radiating from television screens glowing with familiar blue light. It's 8 o'clock, time for Ed Sullivan. 73 million people tune in tonight, nearly half the entire nation, in New York and Los Angeles, in small towns across Kansas and Georgia, in apartments and farmhouses. Everyone stops what they're doing for this 1 hour. This is the ritual that binds America together. This is the show that introduces legends. Inside Studio 50 on Broadway, 700 people fill the seats, dressed in their Sunday finest. They've waited months for these tickets. Some traveled from other states just to be here, to witness history being made in real time. The energy in the room vibrates with anticipation. Everyone understands the privilege of this moment, watching America's most powerful stage come alive before their eyes. Ed Sullivan stands in his customary position, stage right, shoulders squared in his dark suit. He's been doing this for 16 years now. 16 years of Sundays. 16 years of introducing talent that would shape American culture. The Beatles will stand on this stage in less than a year. Elvis already has. Countless opera singers, comedians, acrobats, and unknowns who became legends, all passed through Ed's steady hands. He scans his notes one final time. Tonight's lineup promises excellence, as always. Opera star Robert Merrill will perform. Comic Alan King has prepared new material guaranteed to bring down the house. The cast of Broadway's biggest hit, Oliver, is scheduled for a special number that's been rehearsed down to the second. Every moment choreographed, every transition timed with precision. The control room buzzes with practiced efficiency. Director Tim Kiley watches multiple monitors simultaneously, calling camera angles with absolute confidence. Lighting technicians stand ready at their boards. Audio engineers adjust levels. Stage managers communicate through headsets, coordinating the complex machinery of live television. This is what Ed Sullivan does. Transforms chaos into order, nervousness into confidence, raw talent into prime-time perfection. Week after week, year after year, he delivers excellence with unwavering consistency. America knows what to expect from Ed Sullivan. Steady, controlled, professional, never rattled, never emotional, never unpredictable. The countdown begins. 10 seconds to air. 5 seconds. Ed straightens his tie. Small gesture he's repeated thousands of times. Muscle memory from years of standing in this exact spot. The red light ignites on camera 1. The familiar music swells. America's most famous opening plays into millions of homes. And now, live from New York, it's the Ed Sullivan Show. The broadcast begins, exactly as planned for now. The first 30 minutes unfold flawlessly. Robert Merrill takes the stage, his powerful tenor voice filling Studio 50 with an aria that brings the audience to their feet. Applause thunders through the room. Ed introduces him with characteristic brevity, then steps back into the shadows. This is his style, never stealing focus, always serving the talent. Alan King follows with a comedy routine that lands every punchline. The audience roars with laughter. Ed watches from the wings, nodding slightly, satisfied. Everything is proceeding exactly according to schedule. The clock is unforgiving in live television, but tonight, like always, they're hitting every mark with precision. During the second commercial break, production assistant Danny Morrison appears beside Ed's podium. His face carries an unusual urgency that cuts through the controlled chaos backstage. Ed barely glances up from his notes, already preparing the next introduction in his mind. "Ed, there's something you need to read," Danny says quietly. "Right now." Ed's response is automatic, instinctive. "After the broadcast, Danny." He has a show to run. 15 million households are watching. The next segment begins in 90 seconds. There's no time for distractions, no matter how well-meaning. "It's about a little girl." Danny's voice drops lower, more insistent. "She's dying." Ed's hand pauses over his notes. He looks up now, really seeing Danny's face for the first time. There's something there, genuine distress breaking through professional composure. "Her mother sent this," Danny continues, holding out a simple white envelope. "She's watching tonight. The little girl, from her hospital bed." Ed Sullivan has received thousands of letters over the years. Heartbreaking stories, desperate pleas, touching requests. He feels every single one, feels them deeply in fact, though he's learned never to show it. But the show demands professional distance. If he stopped for every tragedy that reached his desk, nothing would ever air. The entertainment must continue. That's the job. Danny places the envelope directly into Ed's hand. The paper feels ordinary, standard stationery, nothing remarkable about it. But Danny's eyes carry weight that won't be dismissed. "Please," Danny says simply, "just read it." Ed looks toward the stage manager who's signaling 60 seconds until cameras roll, then back at the envelope in his hand, then toward the control room, where Tim Kiley waits for his cue to continue the broadcast. His fingers break the seal. The handwriting is careful, measured, the penmanship of someone who chose every single word with desperate precision. Ed's eyes scan the first line. "Dear Mr. Sullivan, my name is Margaret Phillips. My daughter Linda is 9 years old." 30 seconds until cameras roll. Ed's jaw tightens slightly, but he keeps reading. 3 months ago, doctors diagnosed her with leukemia. Last week, they told us there's nothing more they can do. Linda has maybe 2 weeks left. The stage manager signals 15 seconds. Ed should be moving toward his mark right now, should be clearing his mind, focusing on the next introduction, preparing to deliver the smooth transition that 73 million viewers expect. But his eyes move faster now, racing through Margaret's words. Linda's only wish, the only thing she's asked for, is to hear you say her name on television. She watches your show every Sunday from her hospital bed. She tells the nurses that Ed Sullivan is her friend. She says when you introduce the performers, it makes her forget the pain. 10 seconds, the familiar countdown that has governed Ed's life for 16 years. 10 seconds until he must be Ed Sullivan again. Steady, controlled, professional. "Mr. Sullivan, I know you're a busy man. I know this is an impossible request. But if there's any way, any moment tonight, you could simply say, 'This is for Linda Phillips in Hartford, Connecticut.' It would mean more than I can ever express." 5 seconds. The red light on camera 1 will illuminate any moment now. Ed's hand trembles almost imperceptibly as he reaches the final lines. "She doesn't know I'm writing this. I want to give her this one last gift before..." The sentence ends there. Margaret Phillips couldn't finish it. Couldn't write the word that waits at the end of every parent's nightmare. The stage manager's hand drops. The red light ignites. America waits. Ed Sullivan looks at the camera position where he should be standing right now. Then back at the letter in his hands. Then toward the wings where performers wait for their introductions. For 16 years, he has never deviated from the script, never broken the format, Never let personal feeling interrupt professional obligation. He folds the letter carefully and places it in his jacket pocket over his heart. Then Ed Sullivan makes a choice that will change everything. Ed Sullivan does not return to his podium. Instead, he walks directly to center stage, a position he rarely occupies, always preferring to introduce from the wings, to deflect attention toward the talent rather than himself. The studio audience senses immediately that something is different. This isn't the script they know. This isn't the rhythm of a normal broadcast. 700 people lean forward slightly in their seats, confused but captivated. Ladies and gentlemen, Ed's voice carries its usual authority, but something underneath has fundamentally shifted. Before we continue tonight's program, I need to share something with you. In living rooms across America, conversations stop mid-sentence. Children cease their fidgeting. Fathers lower their newspapers. Everyone feels it. That subtle change in atmosphere that signals something unprecedented is about to unfold. A few moments ago, I received a letter. Ed reaches into his jacket pocket and withdraws the folded paper. His hands are absolutely steady. It was written by a mother in Hartford, Connecticut. Her name is Margaret Phillips. Somewhere in Hartford, in a hospital room lit by harsh fluorescent lights, Margaret Phillips sits frozen beside her daughter's bed. Linda is propped up on pillows, watching the television mounted on the wall. Neither of them can breathe. Margaret has a 9-year-old daughter named Linda. Ed continues. The name hangs in the air like something sacred. Linda's eyes widen. She looks at her mother, confused, wondering if she heard correctly. Margaret's hand covers her mouth. Linda loves this show, Ed says, and now his delivery has lost all professional distance. He's speaking directly to one person, though millions are listening. She watches every Sunday. She tells people that I'm her friend. A small, genuine smile crosses Ed's face, warmth breaking through 16 years of television armor. 3 months ago, Linda was diagnosed with leukemia. The smile vanishes completely. Last week, her doctors delivered news that no parent should ever have to hear. They've done everything medical science allows. But sometimes, Ed's voice catches. For just a fraction of a second, the legendary composure falters. Sometimes, medicine reaches its limits. The studio audience sits in absolute silence. This isn't entertainment anymore. This is something else entirely. Something raw and real, breaking through the careful artifice of primetime television. And Ed Sullivan is only beginning. Linda has one wish, Ed says quietly. Just one. Her mother writes that Linda wants to hear me say her name on television. That's all. Just acknowledgement that she exists, that she matters, that someone, somewhere, sees her. Ed looks directly into camera one, which means he's looking directly at Linda Phillips in her hospital bed in Hartford, directly into the eyes of a 9-year-old girl who has maybe 2 weeks left to live. Margaret writes that Linda doesn't know about this letter. She wanted to surprise her daughter, to give her one last gift before Ed stops. He can't say the word either. Neither could Margaret. The camera holds on Ed's face. No one in the control room dares to cut away. For perhaps the first time in 16 years of broadcasting, Ed Sullivan looks utterly vulnerable. The mask that has survived meetings with presidents and kings, that has endured brutal reviews and crushing pressure, that has remained fixed through every conceivable crisis. That mask is cracking. I'm going to do more than say her name, Ed declares, and his voice solidifies with sudden determination. In Hartford, Linda sits up straighter in her hospital bed. Tears stream down Margaret's face, but she's smiling now, watching her daughter's expression transform from confusion to wonder. Linda Phillips, you are watching tonight from Hartford, Connecticut. Ed's words come slowly, deliberately, each one weighted with purpose. You're 9 years old. You love this show, and I want you to know. He pauses, searching for words adequate to this moment. words that can carry the weight of what he's trying to express. I want you to know that this entire broadcast, every performer, every song, every moment tonight is dedicated to you. The studio audience erupts. Applause crashes through the room like thunder. But Ed raises his hand gently, asking for silence, because he's not finished yet. Your mother tells me you're very brave, that you face each day with courage that grown men couldn't match, that you smile for the nurses even when you're in pain, that you never complain, never ask why this is happening to you. Ed's voice begins to fracture. The legendary composure that has defined his entire career is failing right here, right now, in front of 73 million witnesses. Linda, I've met a lot of important people on this stage, famous people, talented people, but what your mother describes, that's a different kind of greatness. His hand trembles, holding the letter. The words come harder now, fighting through emotion that 16 years of professional discipline can no longer contain. You remind us what really matters. Not fame, not ratings, not any of this. He gestures broadly at the studio, the cameras, the machinery of television surrounding them. Just one life, one little girl who wants to be seen, to be known, to matter. Ed Sullivan begins to cry. Not a single calculated tear, not controlled emotion hitting its mark. Complete, devastating breakdown. His shoulders shake. His voice breaks entirely. Decades of professional distance collapse into raw, unfiltered grief. The studio audience weeps with him. Camera operators struggle to keep their shots steady. In Hartford, Linda realizes she's been seen. The most famous man in America has stopped everything for her. This is for you, Linda. Ed manages finally, his voice thick with emotion. All of it, every beautiful thing tonight. It's all for you. The standing ovation lasts 2 minutes, but in that moment, television stopped being entertainment and became something sacred.